The first winter storm, Anne-Marie, of the season.
What season? It's not even winter yet.
I know, right? Exactly. It's not even a winter storm. It's an autumn storm. Is slamming the eastern half of the country right now. Here's a look at heavy snow that's already falling in St. Louis, western Pennsylvania, Indianapolis, and Chicago. It is forecasted to affect more than 85 million people from Arkansas all the way to Maine.
Even the White House lawn is covered in snow right now. There's hundreds of thousands of people without power in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. CBS News weather producer David Parkinson is tracking the storm for us. So, I mean, we're sort of joking around that it's not even winter yet, but for some people without power, this is serious business. So what's going on with this storm?
Well, it's interesting. It is not even meteorological winter, which starts in December, right? So here's the thing that's important to know. What you were seeing in those places that have lost power, they were in heavy icing areas. So that's going to be the big concern out of this storm, is not so much the snow, but where it's going to have the freezing rain and the sleet. So the worst places it does look like is probably going to be somewhere along the I-81 corridor in Virginia into West Virginia. But you can see all that pink on the map, that's some sort of a mix between freezing rain and sleet. Anywhere where you see that sort of dark blue right in eastern Indiana, that's where you're seeing some heavy snow as well. So there's a lot of moisture with this thing. Look at how heavy the rain is back by Raleigh. That shows you how much moisture there is. Now the question is going to be, what's the temperature? Look, it's freezing out in the Northeast right now. We've had record low temperatures in the Northeast, particularly in places like Albany, Hartford, Portland. So the cold air is there. The problem is the cold air is not all the way up in the atmosphere. So when you get warm temperatures intruding in earlier than they are at the ground, you get some sort of a nasty little mix. Freezing rain is when it freezes right on the surface, like just ahead of it. Sleet, it freezes a little bit earlier. But the real concern here is having
Never
that
knew the
mix.
difference.
Yeah.
Never knew the difference. No, okay, that makes sense.
So what kind of totals are we looking at?
So we're looking at potentially ice accumulations of a half an inch to an inch into parts of Pennsylvania, along western Virginia, and then even potentially into Litchfield County in Connecticut, the Berkshires, places like that. The actual heaviest snow is, you'll get a thump of snow is what we call it, right? So it's blinding snow. You get 2 inch per hour snow for 90 minutes, maybe 2.5 hours tops. And then it switches over to rain. So the totals are not going to be all that high, with the exception, I think, of interior northern New England and then parts of upstate New York, where you could see maybe 6 to 9 inches. But don't be surprised this evening in the New York City metro area if you get 3 or 4 inches of snow and then it gets washed away 2 or 3 hours later.
You know, people see a storm like this early in the season, they start to get nervous about what the rest of the season is going to bring. We have Thanksgiving right around the corner. It might be too early, but any indication what Thanksgiving looks like?
Thanksgiving looks to be okay. So we're looking at, we've got a potential for another storm on Monday morning, but that's not going to be too far south. So it's going to be rain all the way up to like I-90 and then into northern New England. So it's good for the ski areas. Look, there's a lot of ski areas that are either just opening or will be opening for Thanksgiving. So that's good news for them. But in terms of traveling for the major airports, Tuesday and Wednesday don't look all that bad. Ironically, western states in California, where they really need the rain, that's where you might actually see rain heading up into Thanksgiving. But we've got a long winter ahead of us. We're in a very active pattern, so I wouldn't be surprised to see something not all that far down the pike. But for now, this is the worst thing on our horizon.
All right, and hopefully it will wash away very quickly. David, thank you very much.
Thanks, David.